Well, we told you earlier about Angelina Jolie's surgery coming up in our next half hour. Answers from an OBGYN. Will this eliminate her risk of cancer? And are prevention surgeries a good idea at all?
For one of the world's best-known actresses, her very open account of trying to avoid cancer may help save lives. Angelina Jolie's latest surgery and medical insight from an expert coming up next. Plus, we're getting down to tax crunch time, the most common tax mistakes, and a surprising deduction that's often overlooked. That's straight ahead.
News Channel 4.
Today in Health Check, stopping cancer before it strikes. Actress Angelina Jolie reveals today that she underwent another surgery, hoping to avoid a future diagnosis of cancer. She had her ovaries and fallopian tubes removed. Jolie carries a gene mutation that puts her at an elevated risk for both breast cancer and ovarian cancer. She already had a double mastectomy. In an op-ed to the New York Times, she revealed that a worrisome blood test was enough to convince her that it was time to go forward with this most recent surgery. Joining us via Skype from Texas is medical expert and OBGYN, Dr. Pari Ghodsi. Thank you so much for your insight today. We know that ovarian cancer can be very hard to diagnose until it's in its later stages. Now, Jolie had a blood test and a physical exam, but is there anything short of surgery that can confirm ovarian cancer in its earliest stages?
Yes, there is. You can also have a pelvic ultrasound, which would be able to look at the ovaries radiographically. It is important to know, though, that this is a diagnostic test for diagnosis. It's not something that should be done for screening on the general population.
Here's the basic question. Has Jolie eliminated her elevated cancer risk through these two very serious surgeries?
She has. She has. At this point, she would go back to the normal population.
I think a partial hysterectomy may be a less complicated surgery than a double mastectomy because she also had reconstructive surgery. But there has to be a downside of having that type of surgery at just 39 years of age, early menopause.
Exactly. So she had it's my understanding she had a full hysterectomy where she removed, the ovaries, fallopian tubes, everything. And the downside is going to be that you are going to go into early menopause, but in her case, I mean, it is worth the risk of the ovarian cancer.
A lot of women may be carrying this gene, but can't afford the genetic testing that Jolie had. What do you suggest for them?
So a lot of insurance companies will cover this screening. It all has to do with your personal risk. So you want to talk to your doctor if you're somebody who has a very high family risk of breast or ovarian cancer, especially breast cancer at an earlier age, or both of those and you're Ashkenazi Jewish. If you yourself has had breast or ovarian cancer, basically if you meet high criteria for screening, a lot of insurances will cover this. So it's important to talk to your physician.
That's good advice. Now, are you concerned of unintended consequences to Angelina Jolie's high-profile surgeries? I mean, do you see more women coming in wanting prophylactic mastectomies, preventative mastectomies, or hysterectomies?
I think this is where the doctors really play a role because, yes, people are going to hear this and they're going to want to jump to asking questions. But again, you should meet criteria to have these surgeries. So I think the opposite. I think her coming out there and talking about this is opening it up for everybody. It's causing more questions, more education. So I think it's going to have a positive benefit.
Dr. Pari Ghodsi, we appreciate your insight. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
And for more information on Jolie's medical treatment, in her own words, we've got a link at KFOR.com/links. And also, you can just visit that website right there. We also have a link to Dr. Pari's website.